I am a proud daughter of upstate New York, specifically Western New York. My roots in this state run deep. And I recognize that, yes, our municipalities across the state are wonderful places, but New York is very much an agricultural state. We're very much a rural state. And having been born and reared in Western New York, having served as the Chief Economic Development Advisor to Governor Cuomo, overseeing 11 agencies in state government, including agriculture and markets, I understand that. And I understand it not just because someone gave me a talking point, but because I've had the honor of working with farmers and small and light manufacturers across the state who invest in our communities, in our rural communities, and I've worked in partnership with them to hopefully have them invest and grow more and create even more jobs in rural counties across the state. So I think it's incredibly important. All New Yorkers have common goals. We want the best educational and economic opportunities for our children, and we have in many senses similar challenges, but there are challenges that are different in many rural parts of the state, and those challenges should be addressed by the next Attorney General. If I'm fortunate enough to be the next Attorney General, I without question will address them. I know that there's a housing crisis, but a different kind of housing crisis. There are lots of abandoned homes where it costs too much to demolish the home. The cost of demolishing the home is more than the value of the home. There are concerns about fracking. I remain opposed to fracking because we want to protect the beauty. We want to protect the natural resources of our extraordinary state.
So, listen, democracy is not a spectator sport, and we're at a pivotal point in the history of our country. And so it's important that individuals, obviously, informed individuals, our democracy is at stake. Our democracy is under attack right now. And so it's important that we have a candidate in the office of Attorney General who's will speak truth to power, who's a fighter, who has a history of getting things done, who recognizes that no one is above the law and no one is below the law, and that the law is both a sword and a shield. And so we need to use the law to protect individuals in upstate New York and all across New York and all across our country. This is the time now more than ever. We need a champion and a true fighter in the office of Attorney General. And as someone who has sued the mayor of the city of New York, as someone who sued the governor, and someone who sued the previous mayor of the city of New York, it's important that we have an Attorney General who will, again, enforce the law without fear and or without favor, and someone who will root out corruption in Washington and also in Albany.
I am an anti-corruption expert. I've been fighting corruption my whole life. I, in fact, have already sued Donald Trump, and I'm working on a legal strategy that has been successful, working with the Maryland and D.C. Attorneys General in moving forward towards forcing Donald Trump to divest his business interests. But my anti-corruption expertise makes me uniquely qualified to both take on Donald Trump and take on the corruption problem we have in New York, which has just been out of control for way too long. I think one of the things that really sets me apart is I'm the only candidate for Attorney General who isn't taking corporate PAC money or LLC money, and I think that's really important because so many of the things that hurt New Yorkers are when big corporations are squeezing people out, ripping them off. And I think it's critically important the next Attorney General not be taking money from the very corporations that she will be investigating.
Because I'm in Congress, I'm on the front lines of what we're seeing with Donald Trump and the threats he's directing at New York. Everything from our health care to our immigration rights, to our civil rights, to our reproductive freedoms, to the quality of LGBT families like mine. The fact of the matter is that New York is in the crosshairs of this administration, and the Attorney General can do something about it. The Attorney General can be part of really turning the tide on this administration and fighting back.
And how do you feel that you're qualified and to do this job? What are some of the things?
Right. Well, I'm the only candidate in this race with 25 years of public and private sector experience. I'm real lawyering. I worked on the White House senior staff, 6 years in Congress, 2 years in Albany. I've run a business. I've managed large organizations. I understand the threats from the Trump administration clearly. I have been involved in classified briefings on the Russia investigation and the progress of the Justice Department probe. I'm up to speed on that. So I'm ready to start on day one.